Alright, so at the start of the video here, we're up to 71 mil. Let's put an exact amount in there. Alright, just over 71 mil. Let's check the resource allocation and we'll see how much money we have by the end of the video. And there's my coffee that's done. Alright, we've got this on herbs and mining. So let's collect this and see how much coal we have. Already down to 68 mil. And there is a nice 17k coal. Now I'm going to head over to the blast furnace. Actually, I'm going to clean up those herbs over in Lumbridge basement first. And I'm going to actually calc and see if I have enough supplies for 99 smithing. And if I don't, I think I might hit up the blast mine and use some of the dynamite that I've been saving every day to mine some ores. In fact, I might do that anyway for some extra ruinite ore, since that's going to be my only source of ruinite darts for the post-max grind. So we'll see what happens there, what I feel like, and whether or not I'll use all 8k of it or not. But for now, I've got some herbs to clean up. Oh, I almost forgot to mention how much this dynamite is worth. It's like 3.4 mil. So I ended up doing a lot of blast mine, as you can tell from this dynamite stack. I'm just going to go through this as XP drops and XP drops, so on and so forth. Here's a price check, and each one of these is worth quite a bit. Let's talk about IRL for a sec, though. So that new series I was doing, using my Facebook for content, I decided that I'm not going to do that series anymore because I just don't feel it, quite frankly. I mean, I was doing it for a little while. I got some stuff off my chest, got to interact with my town a little bit. But at the same time, people in my town are jerks, and, interacting with toxic people kind of reminds me of that one Nietzsche quote about be careful not to stare into the abyss, for the abyss stares back into you, and battle not with monsters lest you become one yourself, or something to that effect. Whoever knows that quote, leave it down below, and I'll pin your comment, and you can feel special for being the one to quote it exactly. Feel free to Google it. First one to do it gets their comment pinned. That's your reward for that. At any rate, I've got a new cat now too. A stray Bengal looking cat came into my house the other day, and I gave her some turkey, and she seemed to really like that. I checked Google to make sure turkey was all right. And yeah, it's been a few years since I've actually owned a cat. So I have a cat now, which is cool. And let's see what else. Oh, I listened to an audiobook. I listened to one of Terence McKenna's first book, if you're familiar with that author. In fact, when I accidentally left my recording on one of the times, I caught a little bit of his book. So here's a preview of part of it if you want to go and look for it. It's called True Hallucinations by Terence McKenna. Here's a little excerpt from chapter 11. Maybe it'll pique some interests out there. Oh, also, the cat that wandered in, well, actually, I kind of half called it in, but the cat that responded to me, I decided to name Karma. I've been taking care of her. She was cold and hungry when she first came in and had 3 ticks on her, so if I don't know if she's a runaway or an orphan or what, but it seems like whoever had her before, if she had someone before, wasn't taking the best of care of her. She seems pretty tame though. She's such a nice cat, and it's almost magical that she found me. It's a long, long story, but ask me on Facebook, and maybe I'll go into it there. Anyway, here's that audiobook for you guys.
Chapter 11. The Experiment at La Chorrera. The night was absolutely black. A low-lying cloud bank had appeared, muffling the small world of La Chorrera and wrapping it in a bowl of all-absorbing velvet darkness. Following the storm...
And another XP drop. 174K, and this batch is worth 4 mil. Oh wait, I gotta take the dynamite out. 2.2 mil. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Been like a week since I logged in. Let's go grab another one. So this was really quite the process, and eventually I got sort of tired of, doing blast mine all day. It's extremely click intensive. It's literally set like 3 clicks per action. Like it's more click intensive than Hunter, I think. Mostly because, well, I'd say it's as intense as tick manipulation of chins, but less engaging. So there's that opinion of it. I don't really enjoy Blast Mine too much. I think I enjoy it a little more than Motherload. Definitely not my favorite activity. I'm going to like Blast Furnace though, because that is a little bit more engaging, I find. The best part's going to be smithing the bars though. Alright, and there's 1.8 mil from that last inventory there. I still have 2k dynamite left, but this is getting rather tedious since I did all this. I think what I'm going to do now is just calc what I have left for smithing and see if I have the resources for that. So let's take a look at what we have in stock here. And crap, I want my graceful hood though, just in case. And these are the raw ores that we have: 25k iron, 235k coal, 36k gold, 32k mithril, 23k addy, and 12k rune. I might go up to the new Prif spot to mine some rune there, see if I can get some crystals from that, these crystal shards, because I'm fairly certain that you can get that from mining too. And if I can, I might get a day or two's worth through an ore, but I just can't take blast mine anymore. I gotta see how close I am to 99 smithing. Maybe I'll use up this last 2k. Let's see how the calc turns out though. Forgot to pay mine to it in the last clip, so I'll do it here. I actually reached 500 mil total XP. If you look at the XP there in the upper right hand corner, that is half a bill XP. A long time in the making for that, and I got that with my final XP drop from Blast Mine, which is why I have decided to just mine a few Ruin Ore, edit this video, and then go check out Twisted League. So there is that 500 mil XP coming in, half a bill XP on the account, almost max, and there's Karma in the background. Hello, Karma. She's a talkative one. She's jumping up on the table there. She likes to say hello and whatnot. One of the most talkative cats I've ever interacted with. She is amazing. She's looking out the window right now. I think she sees something outside. She loves the back of the couch area by the window. It's great. Anyway, let's do that calc. Alright, so before we get into the calc, I'm just going to say some of these parts are speeded up and some of them are not. I decided to just record my screen because I did all the calcs on my actual computer here. Now then, as for next video and what my plans are, since we are getting close to the 10-minute mark, and I'm going to try and keep videos around that mark instead of making these half-hour long videos. So I'm not stretching them out to 10 minutes, I'm actually limiting them to 10 minutes because no one really sticks around for the full half hour when I make them that long. At any rate, spoiler alert for this calculation. I'm just going to do the calc anyway so that you can, see how this is done in case you don't know how, but I do have enough ore or enough XP. I have the smithing level banked. However, I think that instead of starting smithing right away, it would be a good opportunity for me to set smithing down for a second because I pretty much have all the supplies I need for max except for maybe not prayer. Pretty sure I have herb lore. So I think what I want to do is some Twisted League. Well, that's up and running. That's only going to be up for a month. I'm a month late. It's like December 3rd right now. And when's Twisted League over? Like the end of December, something like that. I'm going to see how far I can get with it with starting halfway through. So let's see how that turns out. And yeah, don't make fun of me for having a low amount of relics because I don't know anything about Twisted League at all. My old man, my dad, is actually playing some Twisted League, and he's kind of far in it. I mean, he's not anywhere like near raids or anything like that, but he's, you know, getting his stats up there. He's doing the farming route. He likes farming in the main game, so he's doing like the Zaya only thing, and he didn't get too. He was already a pretty high level when Zaya came out, so it's like a new experience for him too, and all. So at any rate, let's go into these calculations here and what I'm doing. Basically, so far with the calcs, I've just wrote down how much XP I need for 99 smithing. That was my first step to see what my remaining XP was. So going full manual here, kind of old school. So then I decided to go to the smithing chart on the wiki and make sure I get the exact numbers for how much the bars are worth, and then I proceeded to write all of that down. So let's zoom in here and we have what we have going on. We got 7 mil XP left until 99, and making the bars will yield me so much XP based on this table on the wiki. And I'm just doing this in Notepad, and then I proceeded to, after I got all the XP per bar, I went and looked at all the ore that I had and began writing that down for the 25k iron ore, 20k myth ore, etc., etc. You can see it there. And it may seem a little meticulous to write down each thing like that, but I like to do that just to prove my work at the end and then go back through and check myself, make sure everything looks like it's supposed to. So then the next big task was calculating how much XP per bar it was going to be. Let's zoom in on these calculations here. So what I've done here is just multiply how many ores I have by how much XP they all yield. And that gives me the XP from each ore stack by itself. And then I add all these ores, which will be bars, to my future bar stack, which is why we do the ores first in this calc. And then for the total calculation of how much XP that is, let's take a look here, just add up all the sums, and we have 2.9 mil XP from the bars. And what I'm doing for the calculations is they recently changed the calculator. I can actually copy and paste the main number now. So then I calc how many bars I have and then add that to how many I'm going to get, and now I'm going to have the total amount of bars for the XP for the bar calc. So I did the ores separately, and I have the XP I'll get for that right there for the total XP, which is at 2.9 mil number. And now we can just add up all these sums here, the sum of the bars, and add those to what's to be obtained, and then we can do the XP calc once we have that number. So these many steel bars, and then I just find out how much I get from each cannonball from the wiki. For a set of 4 cannonballs, it's 27.5 XP, or is it 25.7? It's listed on there. You'll see it flash up. And I just add or multiply the bar XP. I multiply the bar totals by the bar XP, and then that will give me my total value of XP from the bars. And then I go back to that 2.9 mil number that I had from the ores, and that will give me the total amount of XP that I have banked. So here I am going through to find out, yep, it's 25.5 XP per each cannonball. So then since I'm turning all my steel bars into cannonballs, I multiply that number by the XP number. So 27,000 steel bars is going to be, by the way, to make a multiplication sign, press the Alt key and then the 7 key on your number pad, and that'll give you the little multiplication circle. Oh, heads up there. Anyway, multiply that by that, and you get the total amount of XP from all the cannonballs in your bank, including what is still iron ore. And moving on, we do the same calc for mithril. Just multiply that 40,000 by the XP per bar. There's a couple mil XP. And then the same thing for Addy. Scroll down on this chart on the wiki. Multiply those two numbers together, 62.5 by how many Addy bars I will have. And then finally the same exact calc for Rune. Put that in, and then we've got to add up the sums again, the fun part, adding these four number totals together, and then we have the final total for the amount of XP per bars. Then we add that to the total amount of XP from the ores. And when we add these two numbers together, after I figure out where I want to put my little plus sign there, we get a grand total of around 8.4 mil XP banked. Alright, so 8.4 mil, damn my dyslexia, it's getting worse by the day. 8.4 mil smithing XP banked, and I need 7.8 mil. So that's awesome. I'm actually around 600k XP over, so that's significant. There's not going to be, and like even if there's a margin of error there, there was a little bit of guesstimation or estimation on some of the bar totals. I rounded and I figured close enough, but I'm nowhere near 600k from blank estimates to make numbers easier. So yeah, I've got 99 smithing banked confidently. With utter confidence, I have 99 smithing banked. I've just got to go and combine all the ingredients, and boom, then it's banked. Then I have prayer and herb lore, and those are my last three stats till max, which I'm going to take a small break from RuneScape, well, not from RuneScape, but from this main Iron Man game here, and head on over to the Twisted Leagues and check that out and see if I can, get a decent tier rating. I don't think I'll be able to, go for the max trophy thing or whatever they have going on. I don't even think I'll be able to complete a raid necessarily on it. I've yet to really try that so much on my Iron Man. But by the next Twisted League, I'm going to be down to do that like pretty much full time. And really grind it, that is. So yeah, catch you guys with a Twisted League video. I might do one or two. I don't know. I'm not gonna like no life it like Dead Man, but I will see how far I can get and just play Twisted League and put the Iron Man on hold until Twisted League's over. Then we'll come back, get 99 smithing, and yeah, then prayer, then herb lore. Then we'll get the max cape and go bossing. Then we can finally play the game. Alright, peace guys.